The journey on the South Island of the Land of the Long White Cloud is more of an experience, and it begins as soon as you see the island on the horizon. As you get closer, you are presented with but an appetizer of the adventure that is to follow. My adventure begins in Christchurch, and while the Garden City with its stunning beauty, rich history, and abundant art makes for an ideal place to explore, I picked up my car and immediately hit the road. My main goal on my very first trip was to see New Zealand's stunning natural landscapes. My first destination was 3 hours to the south, Lake Tekapo. Lake Tekapo is situated in the Mackenzie Basin and is surrounded by the Southern Alps. The stunning alpine backdrop provides a breathtaking setting, especially when the snow-capped peaks contrast with the mesmerizing turquoise blue color, which is one of Lake Tekapo's most striking features. On the right of the Tekapo River, crossing the bridge, you will spot the Church of the Good Shepherd, an iconic landmark built in 1935, offering panoramic views of the lake and surrounding area. With sunset fast approaching, I decided to spend the night at the Lakes Edge Holiday Park, as they offered amazing camping facilities, and the location being just a stone's throw away from the beach was hard to beat. Hiking around the lake at sunset was incredible, and it really set the stage for our next stop, Mount Cook and the Hooker Valley Trail. Now, there are countless lookouts to stop and admire the scenery all around the South Island of New Zealand, but the Lake Pukaki viewpoint was just awe-inspiring and the perfect place to make a cup of tea and have a little breakfast before the hike. Spending the night in Wanaka was a great choice, and Wanaka quickly became my favorite town on the South Island. The waterfront is incredible, and the water in Lake Wanaka is so pure you can see to the bottom on a clear day. Of course, the Wanaka tree is just a couple minutes walk and a global photography icon. I would return here at least a couple more times on this journey, and one is included within this video where we did an incredible hike on Mount Isthmus. I passed right through Queenstown and made my way to Anau. Some inclement weather was coming towards Milford Sound, and I had to make sure to see the honorary 8th wonder of the world unimpeded. Anau itself is a beautiful little town with yet another stunning waterfront. The entire town core can be walked in less than an hour, but there are plenty of shops and restaurants to enjoy. The following day, Milford Sound awaited. I do agree that the best view of Milford Sound is the one you see right from the shore, but I would still recommend the cruise to experience some of the local wildlife as well as the towering waterfalls streaming down the nearby peaks.
You will hear 7 short blasts, followed by 1 long blast. Please follow the instructions of the crew. Keep paradise and to operate in an environmentally responsible way.
Quite a peak into the Anau iconic mountain, 1,692 metres or 1 vertical mile of height.
Milford Sound is also more of an experience than just an attraction. It also doesn't exist in isolation. The entire road from Anau to Milford is dotted with beautiful nature walks, rivers, and stunning waterfalls. Of course, we cannot forget about the cheekiest of creatures, the Kia, whom care not for your need to leave your parking stall or for the paint job on your rental. They are very smart and they know exactly what they're doing. Key Summit Hike was recommended to me by the locals, and it was my hike of choice for this excursion. Despite being pure elevation switchbacks all the way to the top, you exit the tree line very quickly and are rewarded with stunning views of the valley below early on. I must also commend the Kiwi on the impeccable keeping of their trails. Not only are the trails themselves groomed to a T, they are also well marked with signs letting you know the approximate time to your destination, and most trails even have facilities at both the staging area as well as along the path, and sometimes even on the peaks. Despite the drizzle, I thoroughly enjoyed the majestic 360 views with Lake Marion in the distance before returning back to Queenstown for another pure elevation gain adventure. They say the quintessential Queenstown experience is not complete without a visit and a proper sampling of Ferg burger. While the lines are always long, I can see why this place is held in such high regard. They make a mean burger, and with an ice-cold beer to accompany, it's hard not to extract maximum value and meet your culinary expectations. Queenstown itself is yet another stunning urban destination. While nature is still very much at the heart of the experience, Queenstown provides a variety of high adrenaline activities like skydiving, bungee jumping, paragliding, and many more. We had to earn our Ferg burger experience, especially if we were to have a second. So to the peak of Ben Lomond we go, and it is without a doubt my favorite hike from this trip. The elevation gain starts from your very first step and doesn't end until the very top, but the 360-degree views, your payoff, is second to none. The best way to celebrate such an epic hike, besides Ferg burger, is with another epic hike. Just 20 minutes outside of Wanaka lies Isthmus Peak, with glorious views of both Lake Wanaka and Lake Hawea. Many locals I have spoken to deem this hike superior to its more famous counterpart, Roy's Peak. Despite being similar in length and elevation, the views from Isthmus Peak are yet again second to none. It was finally time to make my way towards the last leg of my trip, the west coast towards Arthur's Pass. If time permits, I would recommend stopping at every lookout and point of interest along the way, but of note are the Fentail Falls, which is a quick 5-minute walk to the riverbank from the parking area. The waterfall is gorgeous, and there are also countless rock cairns to add to the effect. Thunder Creek Falls is just a 5-minute drive up the road and certainly looks stunning with an approximate height of 28 meters. Ships Creek is one of my favorite stops. It is a quick 1-kilometer walk that takes you from swamp forest to windswept sand dunes and the stunning beach overlooking the Tasman Sea. Hokitika, which was founded in 1864 as a gold mining town, was an unexpected surprise. Going in, I did not know that it was the largest town in the Westland districts. As a result, the town has all of the amenities you could want, even a cinema if you have the time and/or spending the night. The art galleries were my favorite, but once again, it was the natural splendor that left an everlasting impression. The beach and the cloud formations I was blessed with were truly breathtaking. I chose to wait out the rain by visiting the Hokitika Gorge, a pristine, mature podocarp forest wrapping around and highlighting the super blue-green Hokitika River. The color is a result of the glacier-fed sediment rock, but also the blue west coast sky, which in my case was a contrast-rich rainy day instead. The following day, I made my way up to Arthur's Pass. I stopped for what was quite possibly the best cup of coffee I have had on this trip at the Arthur's Pass Cafe and Store. The dessert was equally good, and it served the dual purpose of fueling another walk to a 131-meter tall waterfall, the Devil's Punch Bowl Waterfall. Because of the incredible luck I had with the weather during what is normally the rainiest season of the year, I decided to wrap back down along the west coast and explore the Franz Josef Glacier as well as the Fox Glacier. While the glacier is immediately visible from the parking area, the short walk up to the lookout is worth the effort. With the proper zoom lens, you can see countless waterfalls streaming down the mountains and a better view of the glacier itself. For an extreme close-up, there are plenty of heli tours available for booking in town. I made a quick stop by Lake Matheson, which kept true to my New Zealand experience thus far, with gorgeous vegetation and an incredible view of the mountains in the background. Unfortunately, I was not blessed with perfectly still waters for the famous reflection it is known for. My final stop was Fox Glacier before returning to Wanaka for a full day of relaxation and thus concluding my trip. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for your time. I very much appreciate it. This was a relatively large project for me to take on, and of course that required quite a bit of planning with a very narrow window to kind of get it all done to a reasonable standard. And I hope you enjoyed my representation of the South Island of the beautiful country of New Zealand. Upcoming videos are going to feature a lot more of an informative approach as far as my itinerary, the tips and tricks that I picked up along the way to kind of help you plan your trip in a more efficient, flexible, and cost-effective fashion. So again, thank you very much for being here. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next one.